What up with the wheelhouse, baby? You ready to hit it? You ready to get it? You ready to level up and get with it? Time to charge the batteries, get the money printer out. That's right, we're headed to the moon, about to stack chips and get paid out. On this channel, no sidestepping, no baby stepping, no loose talk, no second thoughts, and definitely no maybes. And like I always say, green lights to the beach, baby. So do me a favor, we're going to talk about the infrastructure bill today and some plays that I have for you. Go ahead and take 1 second for me, if you will. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, select all on the bell for notifications for the future. And let's get started. I just wanted to remind you that the Discord link is in the description. It is cool in there, guys. We have the crypto chat, we have the stock chat, we have the alert system, we have the one-on-one courses with me, or one-on-one sessions with me, as well as the courses. The response on the courses is going really well. A lot of people are very eager and excited, and they're learning fast. It is, if you're looking to better your life and you're looking to learn how to invest, swing trade, day trade, whether it be crypto or stocks, and just learn how to navigate the markets, this is a really good course for you. And I'm there for you. I'm going to be in the Discord as well as doing the one-on-ones, and then you'll have full access to the courses. My trade alerts, the trade log. I'm going to send you a shirt. So just click the link down below, and you guys can check it out. And if you want to upgrade, you can. And it's a great way to learn everything without having to go to a university or go work on Wall Street. You're going to learn all the tricks, everything that you're not supposed to know, and everything that you don't need to know is not in there, and everything you need to know is in there. And it's detailed and it's thorough. So that's in there. Also, if you haven't signed up for Webull, I have a Webull link. They're giving away $2,300 in free stocks and some crypto right now. And I know I just got a notification that they're doing Apple, Tesla, and the FANG stocks. I also have a Coinbase link. They'll give you $10 in free Bitcoin, but then when you deposit $100, they'll give you another $100. So that's kind of cool. And let's get started on the infrastructure bill and talk about it, okay? So President Biden finally got his infrastructure bill, the first 1.2 trillion of it, and there's another 1.75 trillion that is still being negotiated and written and amended, and that'll probably come forward later in the year, maybe towards the end of the year. And some of the things that they're doing is, this is going to be for like bridges, roads, landfills, railway systems, the grid, charging stations for electric vehicles, subsidies for household, broadband, a lot of good things, to just modernize the infrastructure at, ports, airports, all kinds of things. And again, it's 1.2 trillion, and that's going to be pushed into a lot of different infrastructure companies that are going to benefit from that. And I want to go through a few plays that might help everybody build a watch list or keep an eye on certain things, including one ETF that kind of covers the whole thing. So let's take a look. Okay, so on the Kiplinger.com, they actually have put together 13 picks for the infrastructure package, and these guys are good. I've checked their stuff out for many years, and they do good research, and they do good articles, and they tend to, pick some pretty good ones. Usually they're bigger companies. And, if you are to hold stuff from these articles, they tend to pay out more of a mid to longer term. But let's take a look at some that they recommend. And I actually agree with quite a few of these. So, it goes on to say, it's bipartisan, and, one thing that the Republicans and Democrats can agree on is that nobody really likes potholes in the roads. And it is true. I agree, too. We do need to step it up at the ports and the airports and the trains and railway systems and tunnels and bridges and, clean up our water and get a better broadband system going. And, it is a good thing. I mean, we want to modernize America, and we haven't done that for a while. So I think, an infrastructure bill is good, and there's quite a few ways to play it. Let's take a look at what Kiplinger is saying. Their first one is Vulcan Materials, and you have VMC is the ticker. They do a lot of the road paving and repairs. America's largest producer of construction aggregates, which includes things like crushed stone, sand, gravel. It's also a major producer of asphalt and cement. So that's one, and that's actually their number one pick is VMC. So that is Vulcan Materials, and I put it on a watch list for us, so we can take a look at the charts here in just a moment. The second one that they chose is Marietta Materials, and the ticker is MLM. Now, it says here MLM could be among the best infrastructure stocks over the coming months or longer, because the story here is very similar to Vulcan Materials. Martin Marietta is a building materials company that specializes in the inputs used in large construction and infrastructure projects. Among other things, it makes crushed sand and gravel products, ready mixed concrete and asphalt, and paving products and services. So, I mean, look, I had made a video not long ago that said something to the tune of, you know, the best stocks that nobody is talking about except Wall Street. And then in a later video, I made a video that said, look, it's not about, you know, always having the popular stocks. You can have boring stocks. You just need to have stocks that make you money. And sometimes they're a little bit more boring, but when you rotate with the sectors, like for instance, like a lot of the construction stuff has been down, but now that sector is going to rotate into it, and then we want to start getting in there, just like I said, to get into energy, and now we want to get into financials because the tapering and the rates are going to be going up, and now we want to maybe look at some construction stocks. So, you know, that's why you want to follow the money, you want to follow the rotation in the sectors, and you do that, and you're just taking away a lot of the potential damage that you can have on your portfolio. So, you know, we know there's going to be paving. We know there's going to be a lot of money in that. We know there's going to be a lot of gravel and sand and cement and asphalt. So, you know, these are some pretty good companies. The next one that they chose was Nucor. I like Nucor. The ticker is NUE. It's the largest domestic steel maker in North America, as Nucor describes its place in the U.S. economy on its website. Another really good one that's not on here is Steel Dynamics, and it has extremely low PE. And, you know, Steel Dynamics is one that you could put on the watch list. So, you know, there's going to be a ton of steel used. So a steel company just seems like common sense to me. Caterpillar. I probably will be taking a look into Caterpillar. I might be adding it again. I don't have it currently, but I've had it before. Ticker is CAT. They're a huge company. They're worldwide, and they're a very, very large company. They're on the Dow. A very good company. They've been beaten up. The price is low compared to where it used to be, so could be a really good time. We'll look at the chart and see where we're at technically. But you've seen their tractors, and I mean they make all kinds of heavy equipment. Yeah, they're basically at virtually every construction site across the globe. Makes asphalt pavers, compactors, excavators, pipe layers, backhoes, and just about everything else you need for major infrastructure projects. So Caterpillar could be a really good one. Deere, you know, Deere is the competitor to Caterpillar. You know, Deere is known best as a maker of tractors, other heavy-duty farm equipment, but the company does a lot more than that. It's also a major producer of construction and forestry equipment, and specifically the equipment used in earth moving and road building. So Deere could be a really good one, and the ticker is DE. This is another one. I agree with Kiplinger on a lot of these. So United Rentals, URI. We've established that there will almost certainly be a flood of construction spending in the years ahead. I would agree. And that this will create sustained demand for equipment. Another way to play this trend is via the shares of equipment rental companies, United Rentals. Okay, and that's true. You know, a lot of these companies that are doing construction projects, they might not have a certain piece of equipment, but they're going to need it for like a week, and they're going to rent it. And you know, I'm sure you've been in that situation or seen that kind of stuff before, whether you're putting a jacuzzi and you got to get a crane and put it over the house, or you always got to rent something. So United Rentals is good. ChargePoint, you know, ChargePoint is one of, or if not the largest charging network, and obviously there's I think 7.5 billion of the 1.2 trillion going into the electric charging network in this bill, if I recall when I read it. So they're probably going to do really well. Another one that's not in here that would relate would be blink charging as well. It says right here, Biden is serious about retaking leadership in the electric vehicle space from China, and several of his initiatives from the American Jobs Plan survived in the infrastructure bill. Among the green initiatives Biden originally sought was building of 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations across the country by 2030. To give a little perspective on just how big that is, there are only about 115,000 gas stations in the United States. It's a pretty big deal. There's 115,000 gas stations in the United States, and he wants 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations. That's 4 times the amount of gas stations that we currently have. It's pretty ambitious. Biden's plan would have created more than 4 times the number of charging stations as gas stations. I just said that. Okay, CHPT. We're going to look at the chart on that. I have some ideas. Oshkosh, another one. So that's OSK. They're been around forever. Another major green plank for Biden's infrastructure plan was the electrification of the federal vehicle fleet, including the trucks used by the United States Postal Service. I'm sure you guys remember the whole, oh God, I can't even think of the company right now that was supposed to get the contract for the USPS and oh, I can't think of the name right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They were getting like the UPS trucks and all that stuff. Well, Oshkosh got the contract, and Workhorse. Here it is, right here, Workhorse. Sorry, I couldn't remember. So, anyways, Oshkosh got that contract, and they are definitely, looking to probably benefit. So that's probably like a pretty like simple play right there. So look, in here, look, it says exactly what I'm saying, man. I should just read this stuff, right? But I'm glad that it agrees with me and that I'm thinking correctly. So Oshkosh is virtually a guaranteed beneficiary. There you go. They're in bed with the government. I mean, it's like, like Boeing or like Honeywell. These kind of companies like Oshkosh, Boeing, Honeywell, they don't go out of business. They have contracts with the government, and government contracts, they keep you alive through thick and thin. So, Oshkosh is probably a pretty safe, like stable anchor for your portfolio. Yeah, and just so you know, a little bit about what they do. They have all these specialty trucks, military vehicles, fire trucks, things like that. So another one is Freeport McMoran, okay? And they do copper, okay, for building and construction. It's a preferred metal used in electric wiring and major component of plumbing. You really can't build anything without it. So this is just like one of those common sense kind of plays. Freeport McMoran, okay? And this one is one that I used to invest in. It's a really good company. I'm not sure why they have it at 10 instead of 13, but this one could probably go higher up on the list in my opinion. Now, I haven't looked at a chart in a couple years. I used to invest in this company. I know about this company. What they specialize in is building like infrastructure, but not just in the United States. They do like bridges and water processing and roads, and they literally do infrastructure. They've been around for a long time. They do a lot in South America. They do a lot here in the United States. The ticker is BIPC. It's actually quite cheap right now on the price. I'll go look at that in the chart with you guys. But it says right here, together with its sister company, Brookfield Infrastructure Partners, BIPC is one of the largest diversified infrastructure stocks in the world, with operations spanning utilities, transportation, energy, and even data infrastructure. Brookfield Corp was formed specifically to give investors a way to invest in the company without having to own BIP limited partner units. So, yeah, that's a really good one. I know about Brookfield. I've read a lot of reports on it. I used to own the stock for quite a while, actually, back in, like 2014, 2015. It's a good one. I like it. Now, this is another one I really agree with. Crown Castle International, CCI is the ticker. I used to own this one. This is a good company. I know a lot about this one, too. They actually have, they're smart. They have the land leased for a lot of the like the 5G towers. So this is a good one. So let's see what it says here. So Biden's plan includes a promise to provide universal broadband coverage, and that also remains in the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. If we needed a reminder of why fast and reliable internet is critical in a modern economy, we certainly got it in the 2020 when millions of American workers and students had to adapt from working from home. So yeah, Crown Castle's a good one. I think Brookfield and Crown Castle, Caterpillar, there's some good ones in here, guys. Eaton, okay, Eaton's another really big company. The stock ticker is ETN. They're a pure play on green energy. I also like, I think you should put plug and fuel cell in your watch list with Eaton, and also STEM, STEM. Okay, so STEM, plug, F-cell, and Eaton would be some good green energy plays for the infrastructure bill. Yeah, and then here's an ETF that kind of like covers the infrastructure development, and it has a lot of stuff in it. The ticker is PAVE, PAVE, like pave. And look, Global US Infrastructure Development ETF. Now, it has only gone up maybe $2 or $3 in like a month and a half, but it's safe. It's an ETF, and it kind of covers the whole infrastructure. And I can almost tell you this is like a safe bet for your money. Like, it's not going to go down. You're going to be in the right play. They know what they're doing over here. It's going to go up. It might not go up as if you were to pick one or two really good ones that are going to benefit from it, like a steel company or the wiring for the copper. But this thing is going to cover all of it. Okay. And that's a really good one. So let's take a look at some charts. Okay, so I'm just going to go from top to bottom in the watch list. There's not a ton of them in here, and I'm just going to do it on Webull with the line chart just to see just a snapshot of bullish indicators, and I want to take a look at institutional support. So the first one I have on here is Lucid. I do have Lucid and Tesla because they're American electric vehicle companies, and there will be subsidies which will give it'll help their earnings, So, I have it on there. Lucid has a lot of other bullish indicators. So it's kind of a double dabble do you, if you will, because it's just now releasing its vehicles, right? Customers like it. If you watch my video from the other day, customers like it, Motor Trend likes it, Car and Driver likes it. They got long range. It's very comfortable, plenty of space, very fast, grips the road, good appearance. Everything is just really good. Has media embracement, customer satisfaction. They're doing what they said that they were going to do. And then they have an earnings coming up, which will be good because they did sell a bunch of vehicles in the last quarter. So it's got that going for them, which is a lot. But then it's also going to have the subsidies from the infrastructure bill. So that's a solid one. And you could see a lot of institutional support. And it came in on 11.4 and 11.5. That's like 2 days ago. That was Thursday and Friday. So Lucid's good. Oshkosh, they're in bed with the government. You can see it's above the 200. I told you these things got beaten up, and now they're rotating back into the sector. So it's above all its EMAs. It is above the 200, and that is a really good play. Again, they make fire trucks, military vehicles, U.S. postal vehicles, and they're in bed with the administration. So I mean, that's like just almost like a guaranteed play for you, Oshkosh. They have had some sell-offs in the last 5 days from institutional support. However, most of them are holding. So I mean, Oshkosh technically looking good and bullish on every single thing I see on the chart. Just past the 200, solid play. United Rentals, guaranteed they're gonna do well. They're above the 9, they're above the 200. Their indicators are bullish. A lot of institutions been picking this up. November 1st, November 2nd. So United Rentals is just kind of like a basic, like common sense kind of play. Most of these are common sense plays, and one of my favorite attributes in people, not just in stock picking, but in humanity, just is common sense. You can do a lot with common sense. So. Now look at this. This is that PAVE, that Global U.S. Infrastructure ETF. It's screaming above the 9. It's above all its EMAs. It's bullish on the indicators, and look at the institutional support. So maybe a lot of institutions that don't really want to, or necessarily want to just like, pick a whole portfolio of infrastructure. They just probably got real heavy on PAVE, which is safe. It's kind of like me, like with Kathy Woods. I don't know a lot about genomics. It's just much easier for me to buy ARKG as a genomics play. Just like with infrastructure, I'll probably pick individual stocks on infrastructure myself. But, if I didn't know a lot about the companies, a real easy play is this PAVE. And it's also very safe. Like, you're not going to like drop way down or anything like that. You don't have anything to really worry about with this. This is going to go up. It's almost like guaranteed win. Might not go up super fast, but it's not going to go down. It's going to be safe, and it will increase over time. So PAVE is like a no-brainer. Deere and Caterpillar are two of the most trusted, construction heavy equipment manufacturers in the United States. They've been around for a long time. They've done a lot of projects for the United States, as well as many other countries, not just the United States, many other countries as well. But they are both from here. And, look, Deere's been beaten up. It hasn't been doing anything. But that's just the sector. It's all coming back with the infrastructure bill. So you're at the beginning, like I've been saying with the financials, you're at the beginning because of the tapering and interest rate hikes. You buy financials, you buy energy, you buy transportation, you buy construction right now. You're going into a stimulus for infrastructure, rate hikes for financials, transportation and energy are linked together. It's just kind of like you got like 4 major sectors you could just plug money into that's going to be safe and go up for you, whether it's short, mid, or long term. So that's good. Deere is a good one. I personally prefer Caterpillar. That's just me. I have family that worked at Caterpillar for like 35 years and retired, and the family member actually set up the Belgium branch as well as a major Texas location. He was high up in the company and did a lot with solar, which is a counterpart of Caterpillar, and they've been very good to the family. So we like Caterpillar, and this is a good price right here. Let's go see kind of what it was. I mean, it was at 245. It's at 205 right now. So, and look, if you buy when they all bunch up and it goes above the 200, look at this. If you would have bought right here at 125 and it didn't even cross until right here at 206. I mean, it's when I say 145, so $60 gain. A $60 gain just by buying on top of the 200, and look what just happened. I mean, you just went above the 200, the purple line. I mean, and it's getting all this stimulus. Biden is about to sign this into legislation. Like, this is getting done, guys. The 1.75 is behind it, but the 1.2 is going to include companies like Caterpillar. Believe me, Caterpillar is going to benefit from this. It's like a no-brainer. These are no-brainer plays. Kiplinger likes VMC as their #1 pick. Asphalt, gravel, pavers, sand. I mean, look at it, the way it's like technically screaming above the 9, guys. I mean, that is bullish. Look at the institutional support. There has been some selling. I don't know why. I think we should look into that. In fact, I will look into that. I would not buy that until I understood that. Maybe they're looking at a better play here, such as that other one. What was the name of it? It was called... not Nucor. Oh, Martin Marietta Materials, and we'll go look at the institutional support on that in a minute. So VMC was their #1 pick. Technically, from a chart perspective, from a technician like me, this looks really good. Brookfield Infrastructure. I used to have BIP. This is BIPC. It's specifically for infrastructure. Look, it's below the 200. It is just now going bullish. It's just now going bullish, and but I like this company. They're a good, slow, stable mover, but they're going to benefit huge from this. ChargePoint. A lot of the Jedis are all about ChargePoint right now. Look, big institutional support. That's good. Above the 9, just got above the 200. Look, going bullish on the Vortex, going bullish on the Stochastic. I don't know why my RSI is not on the screen, but I can tell you I'm sure the RSI looks just fine if it would pop back. Everything looks good. There's the RSI, and the RSI does look just fine. So ChargePoint, I think they're the largest or second largest charging network in the United States, and that's like a no-brainer. I was thinking about personally picking up like 1,000 or 1,500 shares of this like really soon in the early part of this week. Nucor, it's a steel company. So you got like U.S. Steel, Nucor, Steel Dynamics. Those are all really good companies. Look, technically looking good, technically looking good. A lot of support institutionally, a decent price. Steel's going to be used in everything. You know, Freeport, McMoran, copper. I mean, copper is used in everything. Okay, wiring, just caught pipes, everything. And remember, in this specific bill, Biden is getting rid of lead pipes. So Freeport McMoran is going to be a no-brainer and big-time institutional support here. So looking good. It looks like you could catch a dip right now. It's almost like bouncing off the 30. MLM, we just talked about that. Asphalt, sand, you know, all that stuff looks screaming above the 9 technically. Notice how all of these are technically good. That's because they're like big players, big money already know that these are the plays for the infrastructure bill, okay? GM, you saw that GM and Ford went to the EV summit with Biden administration. You know, they're favored over Tesla for, you know, the reason is the union, you know, the union stuff. And I just thought that was kind of shady personally myself. I didn't think that was cool. You know, Elon's like the godfather of electric vehicles and electrification in the United States, and Ford and GM are to follow, and that's great. And I don't have anything against them. I'm just thinking that like they should have all been invited is what I'm saying. But GM is a play. It's favored, and you want to go with what's favored, right? So GM could be in there. Eaton is a pure energy green play. Technically looks good. Definitely got some institutional support, and you know, I think like companies like Plug, FCell, and STEM would benefit from that. Crown Castle, they are like, you ever seen that movie about McDonald's with Keaton, Michael Keaton, where he's out doing the franchises for McDonald's, and then eventually the guy says, you're not in the franchise business or the hamburger business, you're in the real estate land business, and he starts buying up the land and then getting the leases for McDonald's. Well, that's what Crown Castle did for like Verizon and AT&T and all these like 5G companies. They got the land and then they leased the land with these big contracts to these big other companies for the 5G towers. And this infrastructure bill is loaded with broadband infrastructure and just getting good internet access to areas that don't really have it that well, and just upgrading the network. And I think that is really important for America. I don't know what I'd do without my internet. Tesla, I just did a video on it. Get ready for a kaboom situation. Elon wants to sell off like 25 billion in shares because of the realized gains on corporate tax from the administration. So he's thinking about pulling it out. His brother already pulled 108 million out. I just did a video on that. Just check that out. I'll post a link above. Ford, again, we talked about Ford. Blink is kind of like another ulterior to ChargePoint. Right now, Blink is above the 200, but barely, and almost at the 9. So it'd be interesting to see if it bounces. I noticed that Blink has more institutional support than ChargePoint. We should take that under consideration. So look, I gave you a lot of good plays. These will be plays that just have money going into them. And what happens? When money goes into them and they get jobs, then their quarterly reports come out. They have better revenue and better earnings per share. And who likes to invest in that? Investors, us. So follow the money, follow the sector, follow the rotation, and you will be safe. And welcome to the wheel.